Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about why any perceived limitations you may have arise from your thoughts. You know, there was a man who's very well known now, but when he was a child, went into school, they said that he was mentally retarded. That was the terminology they used then. They said he was educable, but mentally retarded. So meaning he could be educated, but he was very limited, and his mental ability had been retarded. And one day he used that as an excuse in class why he couldn't do something. And the teacher told him to never say that about himself again. And if you watch the man now, you would never ever think, you would think he was kidding around, that this man was at one time deemed in such a negative light and so mentally incompetent. And he wasn't. And many people are going through life with the terms other people have put on them. Whether it's they're not intelligent enough, whether it's they'll never be trim, they'll never be smart enough, they'll never be wealthy, they'll never be whatever it may be. And they've been put in these little boxes based on other people's misunderstandings and other people's limiting beliefs. And now they're creating a life around that, where that is the fundamental overarching principle of their life, is this one negative thing they believe about themselves. Or maybe many negative things, not just one. But how many people actually step out of that and investigate and see, wait, am I really these negative things other people said about me, coaches said about me, teachers said about me, my parents said about me, my friends said about me, am I really these things, or are these just things I've accepted for myself? I've known people who are very clumsy, and when I told them, stop saying you're clumsy, stop saying you just trip over things, stop saying you can't help but break something, start saying positive things about yourself, start speaking life into yourself. And you know what? That old clumsy mentality that they lived with their entire lives, always tripping over things, always breaking things, always in some sort of accident, went away. Because what they had done was accepted a false ideal about themselves and then reinforced it constantly by their words. And according to your faith be it unto you. They believed it, they believed for it, so they kept experiencing it more and more. And the reality was, it was simply a limitation arising from their thoughts. They chose it, not on purpose. It was something that happened early on in childhood, and it just kind of stuck with them, and they accepted it, which is why it stuck with them, and then they reinforced it by constantly speaking it out. What else could they get? They weren't going to get a non-clumsy life when they constantly said they were clumsy, constantly said they were always breaking things. But this is the way so many people are. They are just limited by the thoughts they have. Now, that's important to know, because it can help you get out of those limitations. But here's another thing you need to know. You could also be stretched and grow and become more because of your thoughts. You don't have to be limited. Your thoughts might be very limited right now. But what if you turn those thoughts around? As the scripture says, let the weak say I'm strong. You stop saying you're weak, you start saying you're strong. You stop saying you're poor, you start saying you're wealthy. You stop saying you're dumb, you start saying you're intelligent. You stop saying you're a fool, you start saying you're wise. Start speaking forth life into your life. Stop thinking negative things about yourself. Stop thinking negative thoughts about other people as well. There's no need for that. Be that beacon of light shining to the world that you are intended to be. Don't be that person that is hiding and ashamed and afraid and weak and pathetic. You're none of those things. The only way you can be those things is if you accept that for yourself. But that's a choice you're making. Many people don't think they have a choice in the matter. They just think this is the way I am. They'll even blame it on genetics or something. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you have something negative genetically, well, you share 50% of your DNA with your mother and 50% of your father's DNA. So if you have some negative trait from one parent, maybe switch over to the positive, the other parent's side. You choose. There's all kinds, and in your DNA even, there's an infinite possibility. You must understand the importance of your thought life, the importance of thinking the right thoughts about yourself. the importance of speaking the right words about yourself. Remember, Jesus said, if you believe and you don't doubt in your heart, you will have whatsoever you say. Do you want to keep having those negative things you say about yourself? Do you want your friends and family to have those negative things you say about them? You know, sometimes people will say something negative about another person because they're frustrated. But wouldn't you rather say something positive and start generating a better result from that individual? Start bringing out the best out of them? Isn't that better than just complaining and whining and murmuring about their bad behavior? Wouldn't you rather speak life? My friend, you need to take this up and really run with this. That you think thoughts that are life-giving. You think thoughts that are blessings. And you speak thoughts that are blessings. You speak thoughts that are life-giving. About yourself and others. This isn't just about you, but it is about you, because if you're not right within yourself, the way you love your neighbor is not going to be very good. Remember, Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. If you don't love yourself very much, and you're beating yourself up, and you're talking yourself down, how are you going to treat your neighbor? Now, yes, many people go through life because of social norms, and very often they're nicer to other people than they are to themselves. But it's a fake niceness. It's not even real. It's not love. It's not compassion. It's just because they don't want to be ostracized from society. But what if you change that? What if you become that person who's just compassionate and full of love? That person who loves themselves enough to love other people as well. That you love your neighbor as yourself. And you do love yourself. That's not bad. People telling you you're supposed to actually despise yourself and trash yourself and demean yourself? No. Yes, there are times you prefer yourself less than another person. There are those times of self-sacrifice, of course. But if you really want to be that person of compassion and love, you have to start with fixing yourself, righting yourself, living that righteous life within yourself where your thoughts are right. They're right with God. Can you imagine some of the things you say about yourself and others that God would say that about you or others? If not, then you need to change those thoughts. You need to change those words and really understand that your perceived limitations are just arising from your thought. But you can become greater, better, more expansive by those same thoughts. Just change the thoughts into something good. Cast out those old thoughts of negativity and doubt and despising yourself, and start taking up the thoughts that are positive, that are upbeat, that are high vibration, that are words of life, that are words of blessing, and watch as your life changes for the better. And understand, when you speak life over other people's lives, it doesn't have to be in their presence. You will start to see their lives change for the better as well. My friend, take this up today. Start thinking life. Start speaking life. Start thinking blessing. Start speaking blessing. Watch, my friend, as your life and the lives of those around you become better. May God bless you richly.